fire it up. I want to try and wire up the kill switch just so that it makes it easier for me to shut off the engine when I want to. And so this is the original kill switch wire. This is the ground, and then this connected to the kill switch wire in the engine. And so I'm going to find a place to mount it. I think there's like a, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bolt that plugs into the frame back here. I'm going to use that as my ground. And this is probably just going to be temporary until I find a good spot for it. But this I think. All right, so here's the kill switch that comes with the ignition kit. And then the original one uses like a bullet style connector. So I'm actually going to put on a spade connector. And then if I ever use the other engine again, I'll just put a spade connector on the other end so that it'll be universal. So I'm gonna hit that. Wait. Then what you? That's taken out. Alright, so the cutters are here. Perfect. So we mounted the bike on the engine and we started it up, and I had a decent amount of leaks. Some of it I think was coming around the seal that we saw that some of the seal had been coming out after I had soaked the tank. Some of it was coming around the gas cap here, and there was also some leaks coming out of the gasket here. And so I'm going to try and fix some of that stuff. First off, this is actually a different cap, which I tried to see if it worked any better, and it didn't. But I did buy this little paper gasket here. I'm hoping that that's just going to be enough to kind of keep it from just kind of splashing out, you know, as much as it was. And not that it was a ton, but it was a good amount. And then I'm going to use this. I bought this, it's Seal All. It's gas and oil resistant. It's an adhesive. And so I'm going to put this around the edge as kind of like a little sealant here. And hopefully that will keep the gas from leaking out here as well. And then I just have to figure out what I want to use for around here, around this paper gasket here. So it's actually a little bit more liquidy than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Putting some on here, and we're just using my finger here to try and make sure it gets in the grooves here. Probably should be doing this outside because it's got a decent amount of chemical smell to it, but I'm here. Alright, so I was trying to clean up the area where the gasket was to try and see if I could figure out if there were any high spots that was causing this leak. And I came across this. It's hard to see, so I'm going to try and show you. But there is a crack in the tank here, right up along here. And you see that, I think that actually there's some stuff going on here as well. And so it's not the end of the world, I don't think. I'm actually going to use the Seal All, the same stuff for the edge of the tank. I'm going to put like a coating over it here, and that should hopefully keep any, because I think what's happening is that as the pump is pumping into this little reservoir here and it's overflowing, it's just kind of leaking out here at the seam. So I'm going to use the Seal All. We're going to seal it up, and then I also kind of clean the area with some fine sandpaper to try and get rid of any junk that might be in the way, and then we're going to try it again. I'm just going to try and put like a light film over where this crack is. It's not like the water is pressing out really fast. I just need to try to put like a little bit of a, you know, kind of like a wall to keep the oil from kind of seeping out. So that's going to be it for now. I'm going to let this cure, and then I might either put a second coat on. So all the cracks have been sealed and it's dried. It actually dried pretty smooth at the top here, so I don't think I'm going to sand it down at all. I did already sand down any like gasket material or high spots that I thought, you know, would make the gasket not seal well. So with this crack fixed, I don't think I need to do anything special to the gasket to try and keep it from leaking, because I think it works well on its own. So we're gonna put it back on and we're gonna see how it goes. All right, so now I'm gonna mount it back on the bike and see if it leaks. I'm gonna pull it a couple times so I gotta fill the little reservoir up, and hopefully it'll go soon. Runs pretty good, but man, it's still leaking. Not around the seam, I don't think anymore. I think it's definitely up here. So after running it some more, I think that maybe the crack in the top of the can here, there's too much flex going on, and I think that actually the seal all isn't gonna do it in terms of keeping the gas from leaking out. It's working great for this seam here. I just think that the engine vibrates so much that it causes this tank to flex, causing that crack. And so now that it's cracked, I don't think I can make it any stronger. But that's kind of where we're at. It runs great though. I will say from a rebuild standpoint, it idles beautifully and the thing runs great. I just think that the gas tank may have been the reason why, I got it for cheap, of course. All right, so I believe that this is the problem. This is the gas tank here, and underneath is a bracket. And this bracket is supposed to mount to this little bolt here, and this was cut off. And I knew that that was cut off. I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but I believe that when the engine's running, without it being connected to this bracket bottom piece, it allows the tank to kind of flex, and that's what caused the crack at the top, and that's what's also causing enough of a gap to let it to leak out of there. I might try and modify this bracket to connect again, or I might try and go another route, but I believe that this is what we need to fix next. Here's the solution that I kind of am gonna try out. I took some scrap metal that I had. This is actually like from a like a pipe hanger or something like that, and I had a small hole drilled in it already. I drilled the hole to size, and then I measured it sort of and cut it and fit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it onto the bracket here, and that will allow me to mount it to the engine using that mounting point. And then I think once if this is strong enough and it's mounted tight, that'll keep the gas tank from moving at all, and that should help. That should keep it from leaking, or at least I'm gonna try. So I've drained the gas tank, dried it out completely, so there's no gas fumes. I've already checked it, so I'm not really worried about that. Basically, I'm gonna try and weld it in place. We'll see how well it goes. I am gonna clarify that I am not a welder. This is just a hobby. It's something that I like to do, and so It's probably not going to be pretty, but hopefully it'll be good enough. Not the worst, I don't think. I think it'll do the job. All right, so I test fitted it, and it actually fits pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. And so I think I'll probably use this bolt. I was originally using this bolt for the ground, for the kill switch. I probably will use this bolt instead, because I'm going to take this off again and then paint it all up. I just wanted to make sure that it fit it right before I painted it up. I painted it all up and remounted it to the engine. And so now I just need to mount it back on the mini bike, and then we're gonna try it again. All right, we're all mounted up, gassed up. Might take a couple pulls to fill the reservoir, but hopefully it will run without any leaks. All right, making some progress. It is still leaking, but it's leaking now just around the gas tank. And maybe a little over here. But I'm actually okay with that. I might try and put an extra gasket on the gas cap. I don't know. It definitely vibrates a whole lot. So this is where I think I'm going to end the video for this week. I took the tank off of the engine and I drained it out and I dried it all out. And so as I was kind of inspecting it to see where the leaking could be coming from, underneath the tank inside there is like a metal bracket that holds the reservoir, and it also is has these spot welds that weld it to the top of the tank. And so I think that from the previous vibration of it not being mounted with the bracket, it caused these spot welds to crack. And so this area plus this crack, that seems to be fixed, not leaking from the seal all that we put in. I'm going to add some seal all around these 3 additional spot welds to keep them from leaking. And I think that should take care of those really small leaks that I saw. Around the gas cap, there's actually, I don't know if you can see here, but there is a seam where this threaded piece is attached to the tank. So I had added a second gasket inside the gas cap to kind of give it more gasket material, with the hope that it would seal better around this rim. And I think that it is. I think that we might be getting gas coming up out of this seam. So I'm going to add an additional gasket of seal all around this seam here to try and lock in any gas that could be coming out from there. Hopefully that will take care of it. I feel like these gas tank leaks are causing this project to kind of be in pause. I hope that you're enjoying the content. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. There's much more to come. Thank you very much.